Dr. Malone, how are you this afternoon?
Not too bad. Been a busy day for us here.
Yeah, really busy. So I think we're the only law firm in town that has a medical physician on staff, and it's such a nice characteristic of our firm to have somebody that's trained in medicine like you, full time here at the law firm to give us, feedback on our injury cases and death cases, and whether they be medical malpractice cases that we may be handling or run-of-the-mill car wreck with serious injuries. It's always great having the perspective of a board-certified internal medicine doctor on staff full time at the office. So we appreciate you here. But that's not why we're here to talk today.
Mm-hmm.
We do these weekly now, and the caveat that I give in most of the videos is if something significant happens, then we'll sign back on and address it. And something significant, very significant and morbid happened today, and that is that Pensacola set its single-day record for the number of deaths associated with COVID today, right? We had 10 reported deaths today. One day, 10 deaths, right?
Yeah, the report came out today, so it accounts for data through yesterday, so it's a day lag. But nonetheless, yeah, it's the single day record on reporting of deaths in the county. And I think the last time that I grabbed you and said, hey, we need to talk about these numbers that are coming out, is when we first saw the big dip in the median age, if you remember that. And we said, oh, we got to go on and talk about it and explain what we're seeing here. And so I did the same thing today, where I've been sharing with you and the rest of the firm when we get the numbers out, trying so we all had I guess our collective finger on the pulse is what's going on, and help give us maybe some direction on how to conduct ourselves. And so this one was one that I said, hey, we need to talk about this right away.
All right, so the biggest question I have is, does this signal some kind of trend when you look at the hospitalization, infections, hospitalizations, ICU population, and then now the deaths? If you look back from that, is there some connection between all of that prior data?
Yes, there is. And so I'll show you on here real quick. I'm going to share this PDF with you that shows today's, this is just today's sheet. And so you want to look back at the progression, So you assume that someone didn't come into the hospital and die on day one. And that we can, I guess, safely assume that based upon everything that we're hearing with these people that are coming in, and, they are there for a while and they can survive with some amount of mechanical ventilation and support. And so you see there were some spikes in the ER admissions back on July 10th and July 17th, around there. So you wonder, and those are pretty big spikes. You wonder if that's what these deaths are resultant of. So to answer your question about as a trend, that's what I would tie it to as far as the admissions and presentations that we were seeing there first part of July.
First part of July where it spikes up? Is that what you're talking about?
That is, as far as the ER admissions and the ER presentations, I mean, our numbers were the highest they've been there. 3% were being admitted from the ER. They're being admitted, and before that we were like less than 0.5% of people being admitted. So it's a six-fold increase. Right. So you wonder if it's tied to people being admitted and they didn't fare too well. A week or two later, which is what we're hearing, where week two is where if someone's gonna, I guess, to use an unofficial medical term, if they're going to crump, that's when it's going to happen in week two of their illness, when they're getting the storm, or the respiratory distress syndrome, any number of things. But I'll show people on here. We every day. This is the 73 we're talking about. It says deaths here right in the middle, and that was a big jump for me that I noticed. And I see that those deaths were all over the age of 55. And most of them, I think 8 of them were over the age of 65, just to give people a perspective. So it's not the young people, as you've been hearing, and as we all easily can now, goes to show you, these are the people who don't want to expose to the illness if you have the opportunity to avoid them. So if you're 30 years old and you're going to consider visiting grandma and grandpa, or you're going to put yourself in a position where you might bring something into someone who's in this age range, you really need to think twice, because that's the people that are at risk. I mean, 40% of our deaths are over the age of 85. And then, it drops off a little bit, but not much. And think about that age range. We all know people that are in that age range. So,
okay.
One other trend I'll share real quick, because I know we're just on a brief video here tonight, is this one right here. And goes back to what I told you I was tracking every day when we do these videos. And let me get down to the bottom here.
Yesterday that was coming in clear. Today it seems a little blurry.
Okay, let me get a different. Yeah, let me get a different. I have a PDF version as well of my backup. So let's do. Oops. Let me do the PDF version, then we'll be done. Apologies. So it is right here. So here's the PDF, and so you see that on the far right column, 63 to 73. You know, that's a one-day leap. That's the biggest one we've seen. That's what caught my attention. But then when you track over in where it says 15 in that box there, that's the number of ICU beds. So not to make this lighthearted at all, but you know, you have to wonder if the opening of the ICU beds correlated or was associated with deaths.
Absolutely
So,
was.
Yeah, so those beds became open because
Right.
people are now discharged, you know, to the nursing home, which again is what we use in medicine. Not to make fun of it, but it's really just when you're communicating with other providers and healthcare professionals. That's, you know, what you think of. It's morbid, but we don't want to have to even talk about it. So anyhow, so we just wanted to share that, and I think take-home message is that's the age group right there, and you would really want to consider how you conduct yourself with these folks or around these folks moving forward here.
Thank you, Dr. Malone. I hate to recognize this milestone because it's like, again, it's so morbid, but I thought it was important for us to put it out there so that people understood. I don't remember seeing any news organizations picking up this morning.
I got a couple of newsletters that showed up.
You?
I think, I think Channel 3 came across my phone, but I think it was within the hour after I had shared it with you. I usually try to check these things the moment they're released. And so you got it from me before you got it from the news. I know that this morning.
Yeah. Well, thank you for staying on top of this for us, and I appreciate your explanation. And if you guys have any questions about that or any personal injury case, you can find us on the web at ZarzaurLaw.com, 855-HIRE-JOE. Mask up and stay away from people, 6 feet at least. Take care.
All right, bye now.